Cameras sometimes capture things that don't make sense, unexplained movements, things showing up where nothing should exist,
What's that?
and moments that defy logic.
Get him off of me! Get him off of me! Get him off of me! Get him off of me!
These CCTV recordings are too real to ignore. A man decided to check his bedroom's CCTV footage just out of curiosity, but what he saw made him scared for life. In the video, while he was sleeping, something invisible slowly lifted him into the air, like some evil force had a grip on him. He froze watching it. Whatever picked him up wasn't human, and it's still a mystery. Floor chaos. A homeowner came back one evening to find the living room in ruins. The floor was cracked and smashed, like someone had gone at it with a hammer, but nothing else was missing. No signs of a break-in, just destruction. Curious and shaken, they checked the CCTV footage. What they saw made no sense. There was no one there. The floor began breaking apart on its own, piece by piece, like some invisible force was tearing through it. Leg pulled. This chilling footage was shared by Candace Gardner, who once lived with his family in a peaceful home until Halloween changed everything. After attending a party at an abandoned prison, one night, while his wife was asleep, a CCTV camera caught something terrifying. Her leg suddenly jerked upward, bending over her head as if pulled by an invisible force. The movement was unnatural, and she didn't even wake up. That night was the last they spent in that house. They left and never came back. Living ghost. A camera in someone's living room picked up a pale, blurry figure drifting near a chair. Just this ghostly form floating like it belonged there. The clip ends suddenly, leaving your heart pounding in your chest. That's not all, guys. It was also seen moving the baby's toys. And let me tell you guys, it's not a prank, and it's not camera trickery. It's as real as it feels, and it stays with you, haunted by the idea that something could be slowly walking around your own house right now. Staircase ghost. A woman was heading down the stairs late at night when she suddenly stopped and bolted like she saw something terrifying. Later, when the security camera footage was checked, it showed a dark, transparent figure appeared right in front of her on the stairs. It was a real ghost. After seeing this footage, I'll think twice before going downstairs alone at night. Midnight smile. One night, a couple was fast asleep in their bedroom when around midnight, the wife slowly got out of bed and stood near her husband's feet, completely still, just staring. At the same moment, the baby's crib began to rock on its own. Then came the scariest part, guys. She started smiling, laughing, and making bizarre faces, almost like she wasn't herself. The next morning, the husband checked the CCTV footage and realized he had slept through something truly terrifying. Staircase Spectre.
What's that?
A mom was casually filming her daughter at home. Just a sweet everyday moment until something moved behind the door. She paused the recording and quickly checked. That's when she saw it. A girl's ghost, quiet and pale. Before she could process it, the ghost appeared again, this time standing still on the stairs. Both mother and daughter ran out of the building in full panic, but the scare didn't stop there. Even from outside, they could still see the ghost watching them from the upstairs window, like it wasn't done yet.
Quickly, no, I bet no, I'm telling you now. See, what'd I say? Oh my god, what'd I say?
Lifted girl. 3 girls were dancing and having fun late at night, recording themselves on camera. Suddenly, the third girl, standing a little apart from the others, began rising into the air. It was like something invisible had grabbed her. She kicked and struggled, but couldn't break free. The other two froze in shock, then ran off, terrified. Whatever lifted her didn't show itself, and to this day, no one knows what it was. Dragged away. A man was walking down a quiet hallway when he suddenly stopped, like he bumped into something that wasn't there. He looked around, confused. Then, out of nowhere, a dark shadow appeared. In seconds, he was yanked to the ground and dragged across the floor by something completely invisible. He kicked and struggled, trying to break free from whatever had grabbed him. Finally, he slipped loose and ran for his life. But the CCTV camera caught it all, and it's nothing short of terrifying. ATM entity. This looked like any regular late-night ATM visit, until it didn't. In a quiet booth in China, a man was withdrawing cash when a strange black shape started forming beside him. It oozed up from the floor, slow, creeping, almost alive. It kept growing, like it had a mind of its own. But here's the weird part. He didn't even flinch, just stood there, calm as ever. Another guy walked in later, same reaction. No fear, no shock. Makes you wonder, what else do they see there that we don't? Phantom gallop. It was just another quiet night in Mexico until the sound of hooves echoed down an empty street. Then, caught on CCTV, a ghostly figure raced by, a rider with no head on a skeletal-looking horse. The clip shows it clearly charging past a man sitting nearby, who doesn't react at all, like nothing was there. But the galloping sound? Still loud and clear. The figure vanishes as quickly as it came, leaving behind one chilling thought. Maybe the legend of the Headless Horseman isn't a legend after all. Demon Room. In an old school, there were a few rooms no one dared to enter. They had been locked for years, and students were told to stay away, but one curious boy ignored the warnings. He sneaked into the hallway and slowly opened one of the doors. That's when it happened. A dark, demonic figure suddenly rushed out from the shadows. It looked angry, like it had been trapped for years, just waiting for someone to let it loose. The boy ran and never went back. Wall Walker. A man was locking up his hotel room, getting ready to head out, when he suddenly felt like someone was watching him. He glanced around. Nothing. The hallway was empty, so he shrugged it off and walked away. But the camera caught what his eyes didn't. A faint, ghostly figure was gliding down the hall behind him. Then, without stopping, it passed right through the wall, straight into his room. He had no idea it was there, and that's the part that truly sends chills. Giant Spirit. In a quiet town in Indonesia, there was an old house no one dared to enter. Locals believed something haunted it, but no one had proof. Until one night, a nearby CCTV camera picked up something strange. A huge ghostly figure was seen moving near the house. It wasn't your typical ghost. It looked like the spirit of a giant human, towering and slow. The footage spread quickly, and ever since, no one's gone near that house again. Some places are better left alone. Shadow Boy. Inside a hospital, a worried couple searched every corner, calling out for their missing son. They moved from room to room, hoping to find him. When nothing worked, they asked to see the CCTV footage, and what they saw left them stunned. The boy was right there beside them the whole time, but not as they remembered him. His figure looked dark, almost shadow-like, standing quietly next to them. They never saw him with their eyes, only through the camera, and no one could explain why. Inner haunting. For days, this man felt off, like something was living inside him. He couldn't explain it, just a constant heaviness he couldn't shake. Then one night, he suddenly woke up feeling completely normal, lighter, peaceful. But something didn't sit right. so he checked his room's CCTV footage. That's when he saw it. A ghostly figure slowly rising out of his body and walking away. He didn't recognize it. Spirit? Or something darker? He just knew. Whatever had been inside him had finally left. Garage creepster. In Mexico, a man finally decided to review his garage's CCTV footage after ignoring it for 10 days. What he found was deeply unsettling. Every single night, a creepy, thin creature had been sneaking into his garage. Its movements were slow, almost like it had a purpose. No one knew what it was or why it kept coming. Spooked, the man installed extra locks on the door. Strangely, after that, it never showed up again. But the question still haunts him. Why his garage? And what was it looking for? Ghost chat. During a quiet night shift, a security guard was seen on camera doing something no one could explain. He looked like he was talking to someone, but no one was there. He even pulled out a chair, set it down, and gestured for the invisible guest to sit. Then, he sat across from it and carried on the conversation like it was totally normal. Was it stress, imagination, or maybe a ghostly co-worker keeping him company? Whatever it was, the footage left everyone creeped out. Vanishing stranger.
Other kids are being baptized.
It looked like just another guy out for a walk. Nothing unusual. A ring cam caught him strolling by, but as he got closer, something weird happened. His legs started fading, like smoke dissolving in air. Step by step, his whole body turned nearly invisible, just a dark outline moving past the house. At first, the owners thought it was a glitch, until they checked with neighbors. No one recognized him, and on other cameras, he wasn't there at all. That's when things got really unsettling.
Other kids are being baptized.
Shadow Saver. In Indonesia, a CCTV camera captured a moment that still leaves people guessing. A man was suddenly approached by an attacker in a quiet alley. Just as things turned tense, a dark, shadowy figure appeared out of nowhere. The attacker stopped cold, like he hit an invisible wall, then turned and ran without a word. The man was unharmed, but completely confused. He had no memory of what saved him, and that shadow, it vanished just as quickly as it came. Ghost Rider. In a haunted colony, a CCTV camera picked up something that left everyone stunned. Late at night, a parked bike began to wobble on its own, then suddenly moved forward, as if someone invisible had hopped on. There was no one around, just the bike moving slowly, guided by something no one could see. Locals believe it's the spirit that haunts the area, trying to ride again. Doll moves. In a small town in Mexico, a local toy shop was broken into, but when police reviewed the CCTV footage, they didn't spot the thief. Instead, they saw something far more disturbing. While everything inside stayed still, one doll in the corner suddenly stood up on its own. No strings. No one was around. Just the doll rising like it had a mind of its own. What was supposed to be a robbery investigation turned into a chilling mystery that no one could explain. Vanished ball. A young boy was casually tossing a tennis ball at the wall, catching it over and over. Everything was normal, quiet, and calm. But then something strange happened. He threw the ball, it bounced back, brushed his hand, and completely vanished. It didn't fall. It didn't roll away. It just disappeared into thin air. He searched the hallway, checked every corner, nothing. When he reviewed the security footage, it showed the same thing. One moment, the ball was there. The next, gone without a trace. Ghost child. At first, this CCTV footage looks normal. A young boy quietly walking around the house. Nothing strange about it, until you realize the boy had passed away years ago. So how is he there? Yes, it's exactly what it looks like. His ghost. He still shows up from time to time, moving through the house just like he used to when alive. No one knows why he hasn't moved on, or what keeps him there. Final exit. In a hospital in China, a security camera captured something that left the staff deeply unsettled. Just moments after a patient passed away, the camera turned slightly toward the bed on its own. Then, something strange happened. A light, smoky shape slowly rose from the body. It hovered for a moment, almost as if it didn't want to leave, before fading into the air. Some called it a glitch, but after watching it over and over, even the staff couldn't explain what they'd just seen. Haunted home. A couple living in Erie, Pennsylvania, started noticing strange things after exploring a creepy, abandoned church. A few days later, their home began to change. Their security cameras caught objects moving on their own, lights flickering, and doors slamming shut without anyone near them. The eerie activity became so intense, they began sharing it all on TikTok, and the videos quickly went viral. Many believe something followed them home that night, and whatever it is, it clearly hasn't left yet.
Ever since that night, we started to see stuff moving around the house and just crazy stuff starting to happen, literally out of a horror movie.
Freezer walk.
Also breaking tonight, hours of new video are released revealing more about a woman found dead in a hotel freezer.
Late one night at a hotel, a young woman named Kaneka Jenkins was seen on CCTV wandering alone through the empty hallways. It was past 3 a.m. and she looked disoriented, slowly making her way into a lower-level kitchen. Moments later, she vanished from view, never caught entering the freezer, yet that's where she was found later. No one knows exactly what happened in those final moments. The footage raised more questions than answers, and many believe there's more to this story than we're being told.
She's trying to find her way, and no one from Crown Plaza Hotel responds to her.
Road ghost. At around 2:20 a.m. in Mexico City, a CCTV camera captured something that still gives people chills. In the middle of a quiet street, a shadowy figure slowly appeared on a zebra crossing. As the image became clearer, it looked like a young girl standing completely still. Just then, a car came down the road and passed right through her. The driver didn't react. There was no sound, no impact. Just a ghostly figure vanishing into thin air, and it was all caught on camera. Vanished instantly. Late one night in Houston, a man stepped outside his house, casually walking toward his car. Everything seemed normal until it wasn't. As he reached the driveway, a sudden flash of light filled the screen, and just like that, he was gone. The CCTV footage showed it all. 1 second he was there, the next he had completely vanished. To this day, no one knows where he went or what that strange flash really was. Rolling alone. In a hospital in Ahmedabad, the night shift seemed quiet until the CCTV footage revealed something that left everyone uneasy. An empty stretcher, parked in the hallway, suddenly started rolling on its own. No one was near it. No wind, no push, just slow, steady movement. In one clip, a hospital worker was busy with his routine when the stretcher rolled toward him out of nowhere. The moment he saw it, he froze, then turned and ran. Stadium ghost. Fans were cheering, the match was heating up, everything felt normal. But then, a shadow zipped across the stands like it had done it 100 times before. It moved fast, but what's creepy is that no one reacted. Not a single head turned, like they couldn't see it at all. The figure looked solid on camera, like someone running, but there was no one there. This wasn't the first time either. People say something haunts that stadium, and maybe it never really left. Feline Visitor. A pet cam meant to watch the cats picks up an unwanted guest. One of them hisses straight at an empty corner, then backs away, suddenly tense. And there it is, a dark blur hovering near the wall. The cats dart off camera, and silence falls. Replay the clip, and you'll feel it too. Something unseen was in the room, and pets sensed it first. Drifting mist. A man was walking up the stairs when a CCTV camera caught something truly eerie. As he passed by, a smoky mist seemed to rise out of his body, drifting silently down the steps before fading into the air. At first, it looked like a trick of the light, but a few minutes later, the same mist appeared again on camera, floating aimlessly before vanishing once more. No one knows what it was, but it left behind a cold, unexplainable feeling. Trash Watcher. One quiet evening, a woman glanced at her security camera while her husband stepped outside to take out the trash. That's when she noticed something strange. Behind him, a faint, human-shaped mist began to form in the background. At first, it looked like harmless fog, but the longer they stared, the clearer it became. It wasn't just mist, it was standing still, almost like it was watching him. A normal chore quickly turned into something they wouldn't forget. Vanishing Ride. One bizarre CCTV clip had everyone talking, and it all started with a cow. The animal froze, staring straight ahead like it sensed something off. That's when the camera caught it, a strange creature riding what looked like a horse. But here's the creepy part. Both the rider and the horse slowly began fading away right in front of the cow. And the way that cow stood there, locked in place, it clearly knew this wasn't normal. Honestly, no one can explain what really happened. Shapeshifter. If you've ever been curious about what roams the night while the world sleeps, this CCTV clip might just answer that. Outside a quiet home, a security camera picked up something chilling. A puff of smoke drifted in from the side, but before you brush it off, it morphed into a full humanoid shape and casually walked off like it belonged there. No tricks, no glitches, just straight up shape-shifting caught on camera. Headless Watcher. One night, a guy was heading home, casually crossing a nearby bridge. Nothing unusual, but halfway across, he noticed someone standing still by the edge. As he stepped closer, his heart skipped. The figure had legs and a torso, but the upper body, gone. He stood frozen, trying to make sense of it. And just like that, before he could even move, the strange figure vanished into thin air. Shadows shifted. This CCTV footage starts off normal, just a bunch of deer running through a yard at night, but the second they leap over the fence, something weird kicks in. Their shapes begin to blur, like they're turning into shadows, and then they just flicker in and out, almost like ghosts. I played it back a few times, thinking maybe it was a glitch, but no, it looked real. Too real. Whatever these things were, they sure didn't move like normal animals. Something about it felt wrong. Backyard Watcher. This woman always got a weird feeling in her backyard at night, like something, or someone, was just standing there, watching. She brushed it off at first, thinking it was just her nerves, but then she checked her security footage and froze. Clear as day, a ghostly figure was lurking in the dark, moving around like that spot belonged to him. She didn't recognize it, and it sure didn't act like anything human. Since then, she won't step outside after dark. And honestly, who could blame her? Ghost target. Something had those dogs freaked out bad. The CCTV caught them barking like crazy, running in circles, tails tucked, ears back. At first, nothing looked out of the ordinary, but the longer you watch, the more it feels like they weren't alone. Their eyes followed something invisible. One moment they charged, the next they backed off like they'd seen a ghost. And honestly, maybe they did. Whatever it was, it had them scared stiff and left us wondering what they were really seeing. Bar Visitor. Late at night at a quiet cricket club in the UK, the CCTV caught something strange, an orb softly glowing, floating near the bar. It moved slowly, no wind, no one around, just this weird light drifting like it belonged there. When the chairman checked the footage, he couldn't believe what he saw. Not long after, ghost hunters showed up, hoping to catch a glimpse of themselves. It's a short clip, sure, but something about the way that orb moved? It felt like a ghost dropping by for one last round. Hampton Spirit. Back in winter 2003, something weird stirred inside Hampton Court Palace in the UK. For 2 nights straight, A heavy fire door swung open on its own. No wind, no one around. But on the second night, CCTV revealed the real twist. A ghostly figure in robes calmly closing the door. No sound, just eerie calm. The clip went viral fast, and folks started calling the spirit Skeletor. Night 3, nothing. Just silence. No ghost, no door movement. And a whole palace crew left creeped out and puzzled. Orb Watcher. Late one night, a garden camera picked up something strange. Small, glowing orbs floating through the air. They weren't bugs or flashlights. These things moved too smoothly, almost like they had a mind of their own. They drifted between trees, changing direction without warning, pulsing softly as they went. The weirdest part? Total silence. No wind, no noise. Just these silent lights gliding through the dark. It felt less like nature, and more like something otherworldly passing through without leaving a trace. Orb Knock. A man was walking up the stairs when a glowing orb suddenly zipped through the door and hit him hard. He didn't trip or slip, he just collapsed like something yanked him back. The CCTV footage clearly shows the orb flying straight into him before he falls down the steps. He ended up needing 24 stitches. No one knows what that thing was, but it moved fast and with purpose. Whatever it was, it sure didn't act like a trick of the light. Creepy stuff. The subscriber's pick. A guy wore a white bodysuit and blended perfectly into the ceiling at his grandma's house. The plan was to stay hidden and see how long it took her to notice. But watching the footage feels more like a horror movie than a prank. He barely moved, just hanging there in silence, while his grandma walked around, completely unaware. Her calm movements made it even creepier. Minutes passed. Then finally, she looked up. The moment her eyes met his, her face turned pale. What started as a harmless joke ended up looking like a scene out of a ghost encounter video. That still silence, and someone watching from above? It's the kind of chill that lingers.